Welcome to the new camping, man. Hope you're feeling new today. Andy. Today I'm in Ipswich in East Anglia. So, this is the Camp of Warriors. That's the intro, the Camp of Warriors. And you'll find out later on why I call it the Camp of Warriors. Now, I'm not from... This is nowhere near where I live. It's a long way away. I'm not familiar with the place. So it really is the new camping, man, to this time. It's new to me. And it obviously, people from here, it's not new to them. But I hope you enjoy it anyway, even if you're from this area. So East Anglia. I've learned a lot about it, or heard a lot about it. And now I'm going to live it. I'm going to live the dream of East Anglia. Much like the East Anglian bushcraft. Because he's a top man and top bloke, and he's inspired me to do a lot around here as well. So this is a bit further down from where he is. He lives up near Thetford, I think, but even so. And to be honest, the weather is actually glorious. It's supposed to rain on Wednesday, but let's see what happens. So I've got it planned out that I'm going to stay wild camping one night, and another night I'm going to be staying on a campsite. But with a twist, I'm taking the tarp. That's it. I ain't tenting. There's no tenting there. And at the moment this time, because I've gone a little bit more lightweight because of the travel, I've got no hammock. So we're going to go back old school. And we're going to try our best to have somewhere we can kip and somewhere to stay. So, I hope you enjoy it. I've seen this sort of sculpture about. I don't know what it... So apparently, let's have a read. Because there is a bit of reading text here, but we're not going to have a major read. Okay. So apparently, it's saying there it's inspired by Ipswich's maritime history and industrial past. Ipswich is among the favourite sources from the 19th century stern casts from ships. So, I think it's to do with the ships. But, in the 19th century. So, the River Orwell. I hope I've pronounced that right. And that's where we are at the minute. The map of the area. So, that's the River Orwell. So what I'm going to do is get a bit of something to eat, a bit of a sit down, and then we're going to try and move on from this place, and we're going to maybe come back to this place a few times. We're just going to plan it out and see how it goes. The thing is, a lot of my videos, if anybody knows my videos, I just go with the flow. There's no plan. It's just literally, we do what we do, and we do it the best we can. The only time I ever plan something is sometimes my history videos. There will be a bit of history in this, but that's more to that later. And actually a bit of history. In fact, there's some major history in this. But I won't majorly go on about it. I'll just mention bits of it, if that makes sense. Anyway, so let's get off and let's go and get some food, and then I'll be back in a bit. So I've left Ipswich. I've had a mixed grill, I've had some meal, and now I'm in Woodbridge. So Woodbridge, beautiful little place this is, pretty as anything. Look at that, incredible. And the town centre is absolutely idyllically beautiful. It's amazing, and I was very impressed with that. And some of the pubs, some good pubs and some good places.
Oh, I thought you were going to jump between them.
Hear people walking by with their dogs, look.
There you go, he's wall walking now.
What an amazing place. So, this is only part of the journey. There's more to come. But, could easily see myself sit here and have some fish and chips and stuff like that, but got to go to the co-op and get something to eat, ready to camp later. We're just getting on with the day, look. And there's me videoing and annoying them. There we go. Look at that though. Amazing, isn't it? Pretty. Very pretty. Very impressed. So, I have to figure out in a minute how to get to the next step. The next step I'll tell you about later on, if I get there. but yeah, so far it's not doing bad, this East Anglia thing, is it? Tell you what, East Anglia is pretty and amazing. I'm loving it. So Ipswich, and I was there. Some history. I didn't get a chance to do a lot of filming there because I wanted to get here, really, to be honest. But I'm going to maybe have a look at that at some point. But home of Sir Matt Busby. Busby Bays, England, 1966. There we go. What a place. What a place. Right then, off to Co-op to get some supplies. Just a pot noodle, a sandwich, and off we go again. Loving it. Just take one more look at that. Look at that. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. So we're walking to Sutton Ho. Yep, that's it, Sutton Ho. And that's a place of a famous Saxon burial site. So, should be a fair walk. Now, I've been told it's a fair way, but to be honest, doesn't look too bad really. It's probably about 50 minutes, 55 minutes really. But it is quite, you know, I've still got all this lot on my back, but I've got some supplies. So, that's the destination, Sutton Ho. And I'll tell you more about it when we get there. But it should be a good walk away. But we're going to start marching on, see where we get to. Now it's Sutton Ho. Sutton Ho is where Edith Pretty, and Edith Pretty was an actual, she was like an historian, archaeologist historian I suppose. And if you watch a film called The Dig, now The Dig is to do with Sutton Ho. And basically what actually happened is she moved here with her husband, and she moved here with her husband because she saw these like mounds in the ground, and she was always suspicious that they were something special, and indeed they turned out to be something special. So Edith Pretty lived in a house called Tranmere House, which is on the grounds of Sutton Ho. And Sutton Ho, basically, she commissioned somebody, or got somebody to work for her, who was an excavator and an archaeologist, excavator basically, and she paid them to look at some grounds, some mounds that were in the ground that were nearby. And those mounds she dug, and they actually dug up. When they dug them up, it turned out that it was the biggest find in the whole of the UK today. Well, I would have thought it was the biggest find. It's one of the biggest finds anyway, I'd say, at least. So when they started digging out the area under the ground, under the mound actually, they found out it was a burial site. Now they actually thought it was a Viking ship at first, but then having a look in deeper, they noticed it was actually a Saxon ship, and it were the remains of a Saxon ship, where the actual acidity of the ground had actually decayed the area, and they could still see the imprint of the ship. But not only that, they found a helmet, an actual full helmet in there with somebody being buried, and it must have been something special. Now, there was known to be a king called Redmold. I might have got the name of Redmold, that was supposed to be around here, and he was a Saxon king. So basically, they found the burial site, they think of that Saxon king, a very important area, and they're actually called the Royal Burials. Hence, this is why I called the name the Warriors Camp, because it's warriors, like Saxons, were always around here, as well as it being East Anglia. Now, East Anglia, think about it, Anglia, sounds very familiar to England, or Angland is what it may have been called. So basically, that is maybe where we got the name England. And it was a Saxon sword that was there as well. So basically, what they did in the dig, during the dig itself, is they dug it really, really quickly, because the break of war was about to start out in 1939. So the idea is they would dig it really deep, and they found this stuff, and it's in the treasures now. Well, actually, Edith Pretty, she had custody, or I don't know if it's custody of the word, but basically she had the rights to the treasures. And the Ipswich Museum wanted the treasures, but she actually sent them to the British Museum in London, where they are now. Now the helmet itself was all in fragments, and it took them years and years to get it right. And actually they got it wrong at one point, so then they rebuilt it, and now they got it correct, and then they did a replica, which you can see to this day in the British Museum. So I am going to go and stay in the area, or hopefully stay in the area, where this all happened. Let's go! Pretty cool, eh? Sutton Ho, the burial site. Replica the size of the ship, look. And that's how big the Saxon ship would have been. It's a fair size, isn't it? And there are all the parts they found, the sword. The helmet was found over there. These are all the fragments of stuff that they found. So, pretty spectacular. I want to walk around the grounds in a moment. I'll show you the map. So that's Tranmere House. Really pretty lived. And they're the burial sites. And the royal burial sites. So it was a good walk. Some serious pain in my shoulders now though, but it was worth it. I'm going to have a walk around the actual grounds. There we are, look. Took a good walk that, didn't it? And there's the actual main ground where the ship was. Under there, look, buried under that mound there. Okay. Guys, I give you the Deben. Look at that, the Deben. Fantastic. So I've really got to find somewhere to stay now. Getting desperate, it's getting late at night, getting tired, and I'm ready to sit down and chill and talk to you. Hey guys, finally set up. Got this thing around my neck, sorry. So make do, face mask thing, because I forgot my face mask. Anyway, I'm going to let me show you around the spider's den. So, on my travels, before we start, I found a pallet, and I just made that into a bed. The reason I'm calling it a spider, look at that, it looks like a funnel web spider's web, with me inside, ready to pounce. New camping man's gonna get you. Mr. Fly's gonna die. Spider's web. Or a funnel web. Or a new camping man web. What do you reckon? I think that looks cool. And have a look from the other side. There you are, look. Spider's web. I'm claiming it as the spider. It's clear into a plough point, and you could argue it a plough point, but it's just the angle it's at. At the moment, that is. It's like a funnel web spider's web. That's how I envisage a web to the funnel web. So we went past Sutton Ho. Closing time at Sutton Ho was about 5 o'clock. But I walked through past, well, carried on going and went onto a footpath. And from the footpath, that's where I am. So I'm off a footpath. So I know where I shouldn't be, because it's still a footpath. There we go. I've seen one dog, but not seen no owner to it, which is a bit weird. And occasionally over there, maybe a stray, I don't know, maybe not. But I'm going to say one thing about it. Over there I've got the Deben, as we know. And there's been some motorboats going up and down that. We're going to go for a walk over here. And let me just show you the view about where we're going over here. And then I'm going to sit, have a beer, have something to eat in a minute. Because it's been a long journey. I mean, it's about 50 odd minutes. Now, I was talking to this lady. And she says, I explained it, and was a bit in Woodbridge, not knowing where to go. So I didn't know the directions. I tried to look at Google, and Google just didn't give me much of a clue. But in the end, it got me where I wanted to go. But the woman said that basically, you probably better get in the train. Or get in the bus. I told her to walk it. It says, that's a long way. I did it. And it was a long way. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. But to be honest, it might have been a long way, but I did a good walk of it. Look at that there, look. Look at that. This is magic. There's a little boat there, look, abandoned. I fancy it, but I have no idea in repairing boats. I wish I did. Need somebody in the know. Oh my God, look how pretty this is. Mind you, I don't know if that lands, it's a bit boggy there. Look how pretty that is, man. Wow. So we're going to go back to the camp and have a beer. Andy. When you're in the land of the Saxons, then you've got to have a beer that matches it. So there we go, let's see. Northern Monk. Matches it. So there we go, I'm having that. Yes, sirree. There we go. Northern Monkey. Right, I'm going to have one of these. See you in a minute. Well, it's raining. But it needn't even bother at the minute. It's just like little drips. But it's not really raining much. So, the wildlife here is amazing. I think I caught a deer earlier on, but didn't have my camera out quick enough. But yeah, I definitely saw a deer. And it's just unbelievable. And it's so pretty. I'm so glad I came. I've still got time yet. I've still got some of the days yet to go. So, it should all be good, guys. As I say, I'm only eating light today. I'm not doing a lot of cooking. Because it's such a long journey for me. I know people who live here are going to be watching this as well. And they won't know, but appreciate what this part of the world is like. But it's very, very pretty. So that's it, a simple pot noodle. Probably a bit of bread. I've got my water there. So it was a change of plan this time. Instead of carrying all my gear, when I was at Woodbridge, I got a bit in my water and stuff there, and I got a pepperami to eat as well. So, and so got some local crisps as well. They look like pipers, so we'll give them a go. And I'm interested to see what they're like. And anybody who's from around here, you know, tell me if you think I'm right when I say, you know, if I say they're good or if I say they're bad. But we'll have to wait and see. But and I say I've got the Northern Malt beer. I'm all set up really, and I just want to thank you guys for. The thing is, about a year ago or so ago, I wouldn't have even dreamt of doing something like this. Let me even contemplate it. And I work inside all the time, and that's what I do. And I've talked about my mental health as well, but this is just, it's giving me something to do. It's giving me a perspective. And thank you very much for appreciating what you've all done for me. You know, I mean, you supporting me through Instagram and through YouTube, it's keeping me going. But the point is, I'm doing this obviously as well as a journal for myself. This YouTube and the Instagram, it was never, it was more meant to be a vlog, and certainly it's turned out that and then some. And everybody's just, the community just on both sides of it, just been fantastic. And I know everybody says this, I know it's a cliche, but it's true. And I'm just going to continue doing it if everybody's happy doing it. And I'm getting hungry. So that's why I'm waffling. So I'm going to start eating, and I'll get back to you in a minute. You don't want to see me eat a pot noodle. It's a pot noodle. Come on, it's a pot noodle. There's nothing really much to see, is there? All right, I'll probably get back to you in a bit. Well, it takes a long time to get dark nowadays, doesn't it? It must be 9:15. It's just starting to get dark now. That pot noodle, the king pot noodle, were alright. Had a bit of bread with it. I'll go for a little walk and a bit of beer and then come back. Do you want to come with me? Why not? Let's go and go for a walk. Well, there's rather a lot of wildlife here. As I say, I saw a deer earlier on. I didn't have my video out when I got it, but I wish I had. I was eager to get to camp at that time. It's quite bright out there, look. But don't be deceived. As if I put the light on. It's starting to get dark. But you can hear the wildlife. So just think. So like I say, I called this the warrior camp. Or camp of warriors. Our warrior camp of warriors is because back in the 7th century, let's say according to Bede being, who's Bede you might wonder? Well, Bede was a historian from the 7th century apparently, and he was also a monk, and he was a Christian monk. So he told of the famous king that may have been here, and he but that particular king in the burial ground there's evidence of Christian practice as well as pagan. And strange to think, and we're walking in the ice in the land of our ancestors so many moons ago, and pretty damn cool that it might have been, I don't think it would have been exactly the same, but I dare say they would have heard the same sounds and the like. But also, this area was also had the Saxons, who, as we know, but there was the Vikings. The Vikings used to come up this area as well. And of course, we're talking about the time of when the Romans had just left. So just after the Roman conquest had finished, the European Roman Empire had ceased to exist. That's when you would have seen that sort of king being around, apparently. So obviously you had the Saxons that more or less around, I think it was Essex, then you had Mercia, then you had this area. Went all the way into Northumberland, and there was Northumberland kings and the like of. So Anglo-Saxons and Anglos. Now the Anglos were a Germanic tribe apparently. So all the way from Germany, and then they came over here. So all round that area. So you can see apparently when you look at the sword and the helmet, influences of that. So I didn't get a chance to go in the museum, but I might get a chance. I'll have to see tomorrow. We'll have a look if I can. But if not, then I've still got a whole time here yet to come. God, my hair looks grey in this video. I don't think it is that grey, surely. I'm just getting old. But yeah. So, the Warrior Land. Welcome to Warrior Land. Warriors. Yep, the Warrior Land. I'm a Northern monk. Got to be done, innit? Oh, it's so pleasantly quiet. It's just a different place of scenery. I just wanted to try and do something different, really. But look at that. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Magic indeed. So when we're talking about Mercia and all them plots and them sort of places, anybody ever seen The Last Kingdom? Well, if you have, a new TV series, or I think it's probably on Netflix or on Prime now, something like that. Well, it was a BBC series that mentions Mercia and the kings there. And I think there's lots of kings. But, isn't it weird? In the land of the ancestors. I guess we're anywhere in England and Britain, you're in the land of the ancestors. But this is just seems that little bit more special because of Sutton Ho up back there. So, yeah. My shoulders hurt from carrying that bag a little bit. But yeah, I'll get round it. Be alright. It was a fair walk. But, that's just magic. And look in the background, as if on demand, that red sky. Now, red sky at night, shepherd's delight apparently. Red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning. So, and might be the other way round. But we did have the rain, and it was more than I expected. But won't even thought about it now. It certainly gets a fair amount of boats coming past. So, what have you been doing this week then? What's been your plans for the holiday with the kids or in general? Are you going out wild camping? You doing stuff? Got to do something, ain't you? Can't be trapped indoors all day all long. Get out there. Get going out in the woods. If not in the woods, go and see places. That's what my channel's about, really. It's just me as a bit of a vlogger, and also to take you on for the ride. And it's all new to me, definitely here though, because it is new to me, definitely here. It's not familiar territory. But I'm loving it. I'll just see what is different though, sleeping without a hammock for so long and sleeping on the floor again. But I think I've done a good job of the, well, like I say, I call it the spider's web. Or the spider, the funnel spider. But like I say, it's just a version of a plough point, isn't it, that I've just made a bit different. So, I'm just going to sign off for now. And I might be back later. We'll see how we get on. But I'm going to sit and have a beer and just chill now. And look at the view. Look at it. Ain't it cool? Beautiful, beautiful. Handy. Absolutely handy. It's lovely. Amazing place. Right guys, I'm going to call it a night. See you all in the morning. Being woken up by deer. Listen. They're loud. God, that's close. Yeah, and calling to each other. So cool. But I want a good sleep. Morning all. Right, I'm going to get some breakfast and get packed up. So, what this will be, I think I'm going to have to make this maybe a two-part because it's quite a long video. So, end of part 1, please subscribe and then watch out for part 2. Okay, please catch me in part 2. I'll catch you there. Okay, and look at my other videos when you can. Thanks for watching New Camping Man. Watch part 2.